Well, for many Aussies, 2024 was a tough year with climbing inflation, mounting cost of living pressures and global conflicts leaving households stretched thin. But as we look ahead this new year, Australians could be in store for a more hopeful 2025. The RBA is showing signs it may be open to dropping interest rates, while Treasurer Jim Chalmers says the government's economic plan is working. And to help break things down, let's cross to finance expert and founder of Fort Lake Asset Management, Dr. Christian Bayliss. Good morning to you, Christian. Look, let's start with a little bit of a bright spot here. Shares have been at an all-time high. What's driving that surge?
Well, I think this is the interesting thing, David. If you think back, we printed more money in 18 months during the pandemic than we did the prior 10 years. We also spent more money in that 18 months than what we did the prior 10 years. That was the juice that got the party started, and we've been rock and rolling now for 4 years since then. That is why equities are so high. Also, equity valuations have obviously benefited from those lower interest rates. A lot of corporate entities use those lower interest rates to go back and buy their own shares. That just turbocharged the stock market now for a 4-year bull run. The question is, for 2025, can it keep on going? Despite the central bank's best effort, they've been trying to take away the punch bowl, but it just hasn't worked so far. So we're in extremely good times, but it is hard to believe that this party can keep going. We would expect equity prices to moderate over the next year. Probably the best place for people to be is going to be in things like savings products and those sorts of things over the next 12 months as equities start to come off.
Yeah, look, Christian, the big question, though, that mortgage holders will be asking right now is when will they see an interest cut rate? Do you think that's likely this year?
Oh, look, I think there's a very good chance that happens around April or May. Obviously, we've got the election feeding into that. The RBA is going to be under some pressure to stay well away and out of that election cycle. But I think, look, everything's looking good for inflation to come back to sustainably between that 2 to 3% target. That's very important for the RBA. But we do have to remember Australia has been outperforming every other global economy from an unemployment rate perspective with that sticky level of inflation. That's just made it a little bit harder for the RBA to contemplate cutting rates anytime sooner. We do have one of the best performing economies in the world. So that is the fly in the ointment for the RBA. But nevertheless, let's hope around mid next year we do get a cut come through.
Yep, fingers crossed for that. All right, thanks for that, Christian.